Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into the dramatic twists unfolding in Port Charles for the week of November 10th, where political intrigue, family secrets, and mob confrontations collide in unexpected ways. In the heart of Port Charles' bustling civic center, Mayor Laura Collins faces a pivotal moment in her re-election bid that could reshape the city's future. As election night looms, Laura shares her deepest concerns with her daughter, Lulu Spencer, during a tense private conversation in their family home overlooking the harbor. She confides that the results of this vote, particularly the controversial Proposition 3 aimed at revitalizing the waterfront district, might determine not just her political survival, but the very soul of their community. Laura elaborates on how the proposition promises eco-friendly developments, including public parks and sustainable marinas, but whispers of corruption have cast shadows over its passage. Unbeknownst to many voters, shadowy figures are pulling strings behind the curtain, determined to derail Laura's efforts and seize control of prime real estate along the docks. This setback hits hard, forcing Laura to rally her supporters with renewed vigor, emphasizing her decades-long commitment to transparency and progress in Port Charles governance. Lurking in the underbelly of this political storm is the enigmatic Jen Sidwell, a cunning businessman with a hidden agenda that threatens to upend everything. Sidwell has been methodically sabotaging Laura's campaign through anonymous leaks and smear tactics, all to clear the path for his clandestine operations on the waterfront. His eyes are fixed on the prized piers owned by Sunny Corinthos, where the thriving Corinthos Coffee Warehouse stands as a hub of legitimate business masking deeper mob ties. Sidwell envisions transforming those docks into a fortified base for smuggling routes tied to international syndicates, complete with underground vaults for illicit goods. Inventing leverage, he's even planted false evidence suggesting Laura's involvement in shady deals, helping to erode her trust among key allies like the local Chamber of Commerce. Yet, as the votes tally, questions swirl. Will Laura's grassroots momentum prevail, or will Sidwell's manipulations hand him the keys to Port Charles shoreline? The stakes feel personal, echoing the city's history of power struggles that have tested even the strongest leaders. Meanwhile, across town in the stark confines of Steinmauer Prison, Carly Corinthos arrives under a clever disguise as a routine visitor, her heart pounding with the weight of her covert mission. She slips into Valentin Casadin's visitation room, her face obscured by a nondescript wig and glasses, and delivers an update that sparks hope in his weary eyes. If their intricate plan unfolds without a hitch, Valentin might soon breathe free air stateside, far from the isolated hell of international incarceration, allowing precious time with his daughter, Charlotte Casadini. Carly reveals she's swayed Jack Brennan, the influential fixer with ties to federal agencies, by dangling the promise of Valentin's insider knowledge on Cesar Faison's elusive final schema shadowy alliance that could expose a network of arms dealers operating from Eastern Europe. In a bold twist, Carly hints at Pentonville as the potential transfer site, just a stone's throw from Port Charles, which Charlotte could visit weekly under supervised conditions, fostering the father-daughter bond fractured by years of exile. But timing is everything. Valentin's intel might be the key to rescuing Anna Devane from her mysterious captors, who hold her in a remote safehouse rigged with surveillance tech. If the move drags on, could Valentin's delay doom Anna and leave Charlotte vulnerable to Sidwell's encroaching threats? Carly's gamble underscores the blurred lines between loyalty and leverage in Port Charles' web of alliances. Excitement brews at the Port Charles Police Department as Jack Brennan bursts into Jocelyn Jack's office, his face alight with urgency, declaring, "That's the break we've been waiting for. It's going to change everything." Jocelyn, poring over case files on her desk cluttered with coffee mugs and legal pads, leans in, wondering if this refers to the unexpected overture from Marco Rios, who has invited Lucas Jones to cohabitate in a cozy apartment near the hospital. This domestic shift could stabilize Lucas amid his turbulent personal life, offering a semblance of normalcy away from family drama. Alternatively, Jack's enthusiasm might stem from the cryptic call he received purportedly from Anna Devane during the chaotic events of November 6th, where a voice modulator mimicked her tone with chilling precision. Was it truly Anna feeding him leads on Sidwell's waterfront plot, or a trap set by her kidnappers to mislead the investigation. Jack paces, analyzing the call's metadata on his laptop, suspecting digital forgery but clinging to the slim chance it's genuine. Jocelyn presses for details, her journalist instincts kicking in, as they debate how this break could expose Sidwell's mercenaries lurking in the shadows. Their collaboration highlights the razor-thin margin between breakthrough and betrayal in Port Charles' high-stakes pursuits. Over steaming lattes at Bobby's Diner, the air thick with the scent of fresh pastries, Britt Westburn pulls Emma Scorpio Drake aside for a heartfelt yet firm advisory session. In the wake of Emma's impulsive interruption during Britt's intimate moment with Professor Henry Dalton in the university lab, Britt explains that their professional collaboration on research projects must end immediately to avoid conflicts of interest. Emma's eyes widen in disappointment, her idealistic fire dimming as she reveals her true motive: infiltrating the lab to liberate animals subjected to unethical testing. From caged rabbits enduring cosmetic trials to primates in neurological experiments, she recounts the elaborate scheme hatched with Gio Palmieri, Rocco Falconeri, and Charlotte Casadini involving fake IDES, diversionary protests, and timed blackouts that fizzled when security tightened unexpectedly. Britt, drawing from her own rebellious past, gently warns Emma about the perils of vigilante justice, sharing a fabricated anecdote of a colleague who lost everything to similar activism. Yet, Emma's resolve hardens. Later, she huddles with Charlotte in a quiet park bench, sketching new strategies on a napkin, perhaps hacking the lab's cameras or enlisting insider help from a sympathetic grad student. Their brainstorming session, laced with youthful determination, promises more mischief aimed at upholding ethical standards in Port Charles' scientific community. Tensions escalate in the opulent Jerome mansion, where Ava Jerome channels her inner mob enforcer to shield her nephew Lucas from looming dangers. Rising like a phoenix from her own history of ruthless decisions, Ava corners an unwitting associate, possibly a Sidwell operative sniffing too close with a glare that could freeze lava, whispering threats of irreversible consequences if he dares encroach on family territory. "There'll be nowhere left for you to run," she hisses, her voice laced with the authority of someone who survived assassinations and betrayals. This protective surge stems from a heated exchange with Lucas earlier that day, where Ava insisted he vacate his current setup and relocate with Marco, citing the mercenary undertones in their relationship as a red flag. Drawing parallels to her own entanglements with mob figures like Sonny, Ava sees through Sidwell's polished facade, the gentrified tycoon whose waterfront ambitions hide a brutal empire of extortion and violence. She invents a scenario where Sidwell's goons have already tailed Lucas to a local bar, forcing Ava to deploy her network of informants for countermeasures. Her warning to Sidwell serves as a declaration of war, reminding Port Charles that the Jerome legacy endures through fierce guardianship and unyielding vigilance. Finally, in the dimly lit back room of Sonny Corintho's warehouse, Jason Morgan delivers a stark ultimatum to his longtime boss, his words cutting through the haze of cigar smoke. It's time to shoot before Sidwell flips away and takes everything. Jason, ever the strategist, outlines a preemptive strike against Sidwell's aggressive bid to commandeer the piers, proposing targeted disruptions like sabotaging supply chains or anonymous tips to federal watchdogs. Sonny nods grimly, aware that Sidwell's campaign includes not just land grabs, but direct hits on his operations, from rigged explosions at the docks to bribed officials blocking permits. Their discussion weaves in Sonny's secret weapon, Commissioner Jordan Ashford, posing as a double agent by funneling Sidwell's confidential blueprints detailing hidden bunkers and smuggling tunnels straight to Mayor Laura's secure line. Though Laura and Sonny must tiptoe around their alliance to preserve her impartial image, their bond, forged in the fires of Luke Spencer's era and strength, and by shared grandchildren like Rocco, allows discreet channels via encrypted apps. Sonny reflects on how this partnership echoes old friendships that weathered scandals and shootouts, providing a bulwark against Sidwell's rising tide. As Jason chambers around metaphorically, the duo braces for action, knowing Port Charles' fate hinges on precision and unbreakable trust. Next, we will dive deep into the shocking betrayal surrounding Tracy Quartermain and how her own family has pushed her to the brink in recent episodes. Tracy Quartermaine, the sharp-tongued matriarch of Port Charles Elite, has never shied away from her sharp edges or occasional ruthless maneuvers. Yet, even with her well-known penchant for stirring the pot, the escalating disdain from her Quartermaine kin has left viewers reeling in disbelief. It all ignited when Ronnie, the enigmatic newcomer with a hidden agenda, orchestrated a dramatic eviction, accusing Tracy of tampering with her drink and forcing her out of the iconic Quartermaine mansion. In a twist that stunned fans, Brooklyn, Ned, Michael, and Olivia core members of the family Tracy helped build sided firmly with this outsider. They turned their backs on Tracy, whispering accusations and failing to defend her honor in the face of such blatant manipulation. Ronnie's scheme unraveled threads of trust woven over generations, painting her as a victim while Tracy, the true guardian of the family's legacy, stood isolated and scorned. This initial snub set the stage for deeper fractures, highlighting how quickly loyalties shift when an imposter waves the flag of innocence. As the drama intensified, Ronnie's con came to light through a series of tense confrontations in the grand halls of the mansion, where secrets from the past bubbled up like champagne gone flat. Tracy, ever the strategist, had been piecing together clues about Ronnie's fraudulent claims to a stake in the Quartermaine empire, drawing from her decades of navigating corporate battles and family feuds. But her warnings fell on deaf ears. The family, blinded by Ronnie's polished facade and tales of fabricated hardships, chose to rally around her instead. Olivia's protective instincts, usually reserved for her closest allies, extended inexplicably to this stranger, while Ned's diplomatic nature twisted into silent complicity. Michael, burdened by his own ambitions within the LQ, overlooked the red flags, and Brooklyn's youthful impulsiveness sealed the divide. This collective abandonment wasn't just a momentary lapse, it echoed the Quartermaine's long history of internal power struggles, from Edward's iron-fisted rule to Leela's gentle reconciliations, now devolving into petty alliances that favored novelty over blood ties. Fans couldn't help but draw parallels to past betrayals, like the Ice Princess saga, where family unity dissolved under pressure, underscoring how Ronnie's ploy exploited these vulnerabilities with surgical precision. The plot thickened when Tracy emerged as the unlikely hero, clutching Monica's authentic last will and testament that she had safeguarded through sheer determination. In a pivotal scene under the chandelier-lit dining room, Tracy revealed the document that exposed Ronnie's forgery and reaffirmed the mansion's rightful ownership under Quartermaine control, specifically bequeathing it to Tracy as a testament to Monica's unwavering faith in her sister's resilience. This revelation should have been a triumphant homecoming, a moment for toasts and tearful embraces amid the scent of aged oak and fresh-cut roses from the family gardens. Instead, the room filled with icy silence as Ned, Olivia, Michael, and Brooklyn processed the truth. Rather than acknowledging Tracy's vindication or the risk she took sifting through dusty archives and outmaneuvering shadowy figures to secure the will, they demanded she extend an olive branch to Ronnie. Apologies for the earlier ousting. Invitations back into the home that nearly slipped from their grasp. It was as if the weight of Ronnie's deception evaporated, leaving Tracy to bear the blame for enforcing boundaries. This reversal not only ignored the emotional toll on Tracy, who had endured public humiliation and whispers of her own instability, but also dismissed the broader implications. Ronnie's scam could have unraveled the LQ's foundations, endangering jobs and legacies tied to the family's enterprises. Social media platforms exploded with outrage, turning the Quartermaine fallout into a viral storm that rivaled Port Charles' most infamous scandals. Viewers flooded Twitter and Instagram with impassioned defenses of Tracy, dissecting every frame of the episodes for signs of redemption. One dedicated fan posted, "Tracy literally pulled the family back from the edge with that will, and they repay her by marching out with the fraud." This is peak Quartermaine dysfunction, supporting a schemer over the woman who's held the fort through scandals, mergers, and everything in between. Another viewer, channeling frustration from years of watching, added, "If the writers forced Tracy to grovel, I'll riot." She was exiled from her own home, mocked by that so-called pickle relish nickname Ronnie hurled, and threatened with legacy erasure by Drew's alliances. Yet the family doubles down for the con. They need to cough up back rent and a heartfelt sorry before expecting her loyalty. The discourse delved deeper, with fans inventing alternate scenarios where Tracy's wit turns the tide permanently, perhaps allying with unexpected figures like a returning Scotty Baldwin to expose more of Ronnie's network. A third commenter vented, "How is this even playing out? They bond with a liar who booted Tracy from her lifelong sanctuary just days prior, and now she's the villain." It's like the Qs forgot their own history of cutthroat deals. Tracy's the survivor here, not the scapegoat. These reactions weren't isolated. Forums buzzed with threads analyzing Tracy's character arc, from her elk hoos to her softer moments with Dylan, arguing that her unyielding nature is precisely what Monica valued in the will. One particularly eloquent post declared, "Tracy's the glue even if she doesn't realize it. She orchestrates the reunion because that's her core, fiercely protective, no matter the slights. But who stands for her? No one, and that's the real tragedy. She's the standout Q, blending brains, bite, and heart, and she deserves the apology parade, not to give one." Amid the chaos, Gio emerged as an unlikely beacon of clarity, his fresh perspective cutting through the family's entrenched biases like a cool breeze off the harbor. As a newcomer to the Quartermain orbit, Gio's outsider status allowed him to see Ronnie's manipulations for what they were, a calculated ploy to infiltrate and divide. In private conversations laced with guitar strums and quiet reflections, he urged Tracy to hold her ground while gently prodding the others toward accountability. His intervention sparked a tentative gathering in the mansion's library where old photo albums and Monica's mementos served as silent mediators. Though the reunion patched surface wound, shared laughs over past holiday mishaps and promises of clearer communication, it couldn't erase the sting of the prior dismissals. Fans speculate this could foreshadow deeper alliances, with Gio perhaps composing a ballad about family resilience that subtly calls out the betrayals, adding layers to his budding role in Port Charles. Yet, the undercurrent of resentment lingers, as Tracy's solitary toast to Monica hinted at unresolved tensions that might erupt again, especially if Ronnie's accomplices resurface with new deceptions. This saga underscores the Quartermain's eternal dance between loyalty and self-interest, where Tracy's role as the unapologetic enforcer often leaves her on the periphery. As episodes unfold, watchers anticipate whether her family's epiphany will stick or if external threats like looming corporate rivals eyeing the mansion will force a true reckoning. For now, Tracy stands taller, her inheritance not just bricks and mortar, but a symbol of enduring strength amid the tempests of Port Charles. Stay tuned for more twists in this riveting chapter of General Hospital drama.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.